Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Risch, thank you very much for holding this hearing. Secretary General, it's nice to have you here today. Thank you very much. Secretary General, in the Western Hemisphere, we've seen governments use illegitimate means to change or even nullify election rules and processes related to their democratic elections. The illegitimate Maduro regime in Venezuela is the most recent example of this type of activity. For example, in May of 2018, the illegitimate Maduro regime repeatedly changed, abused, and rewrote the rules in order to hold a sham election that failed to meet any sort of international standard for fair, free, and transparent voting. And more recently, the illegitimate Maduro regime has sought to stack and manipulate in its own favor Venezuela's Federal Election Commission. Secretary General, would you agree with the general proposition that the voting public's confidence in free and fair elections, including impartial and transparent electoral processes, is necessary and critical to a well-functioning democracy?
I completely agree. It is that's the starting point of democracy. Indeed. For the people to be able to elect in a free way, transparent, just, and that the votes are counted properly. It's about the integrity of the electoral process. We have to see it from practically the very beginning, and we have to monitor practically every single aspect of it. Today, the challenges are big because technology keeps improving, and of course, we have to keep track with technology. At the same time, we need to be able to read adequately the political system and how it works. We observe elections, we observe facts, and we denounce those facts, and we document them, and we prove them. And those countries that they want, we can help them in order to have a better electoral process like we are doing now in Haiti and in Honduras. It is a hard work. Sometimes it's a very demanding work. The Venezuelan case is an extreme case because, I mean, elections there are not elections at all. They don't have any pattern that is common with any election anywhere. I mean, they do fraud among them. For example, there was this election of the National Constituent Assembly, and the opposition was not participating. Nevertheless, they pumped 2 million votes in order to make one of the parties, one of Delcy Rodriguez and Cilia, defeat the other one of Diosdado Cabello. That means they cheat among themselves during the election. So that is the most extreme case that I have seen in the hemisphere so far.
Well, Secretary General, would you agree with the general proposition that a democracy risks fundamentally eroding itself when those in power change or negate election rules simply to stay in power?
I completely agree. I can sign below, definitely.
I would agree with that too, and we're witnessing happening right here in America today, at least an attempt. Doesn't using government power to ensure you stay in power sound more like the Maduro regime or Chairman Mao's regime than it does something would happen here in the United States of America?
Yeah, I think the American people see right through it. That's why this Senate has got to vote this bill down, just to maintain, if for nothing else, maintain their credibility with the American people. If you look at these state legislators and whether the bills that they're proposing are good or bad or ugly or what, they're responding to their constituents. They're responding to the American people. They are closer, frankly, to the American people than the federal government is. And clearly people felt that because of the last minute rule changes and everything else, the last election wasn't a good one from a process standpoint. The 2018 and 2016 elections were much better.